thank you everyone to come today. So right now I hand over go to the Steven. Okay, thank you, Steven. You can start your introducing. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, hi everyone. I am Steven, and thanks Raymond for introducing me. I'm very happy to be here to just share me my personal experience working abroad, and also thanks Bing Wu for finding me on the internet as well. And thanks for the invitation. And I am currently on holiday right now, so I just arrived Taipei yesterday evening. So, but I will be staying here for 3 weeks to meet family or friends. Yeah, but if anyone would like to have a drink or maybe chat in person after this sharing, just let me know. I'm mostly free and happy to meet new people here. Yeah, so today I would like to talk about my journey from Taipei to London as a structural engineer. So how did I step out? How did I step out of my comfort zone, and also why it's London, not any other cities like maybe from the US or Australia or even New Zealand? Because I know a lot of members in OTEA are based in these countries. And also, I will share some insights into the common way that how people looking for engineering jobs here in London, some statistics about salaries, and I think it may not be quite fascinating compared to Australia or the United States, because at least from some of my British colleagues, they always told me they would be earning more if they choose to work abroad. Yeah, but anyway, I will also share some tips about working in London, the working culture here, what kind of experience the employers here would prefer. Also, last but not least, the current immigration policy, which is crucial, I think, if anyone would be interested in coming to the UK. You probably will need to know if this is the right time to come or not. Yeah, so firstly, about my background. So I had a bachelor degree in civil engineering and a master in structural engineering, both in the National Charlton University. And after graduating, my career actually started in February 2017 at an engineering consultancy called TY Lin in Taipei. And I think I was quite lucky at that time because the department I joined for was the overseas department, which apparently means the projects will be most likely overseas. And yes, so the very first project that I was working on was the railway infrastructure design in Jakarta, Indonesia, followed by some like railway underground structure in Malaysia, as well as a bit support for project in China. And such design experience, being exposed on different countries, different standards or codes, really broadened my horizons, I would say. Because when I was doing the design in the Indonesian project, the design standard is the Americans, which is either like ASTO 2016, ACI 314, or maybe ASC 7-10, which are similar to Taiwanese, I think. While the projects in Malaysia, the design code will be the combination of Eurocode, British, and even the Malaysian, their own local codes. So over those 3 years in TY Lin, I was literally learning new design standards or codes for every single project. And even in China, they have their own design codes as well. So it really just let me start thinking, if I've already got this experience, like mainly overseas, why not I just try to work abroad? Because honestly, I didn't get too much design experience for projects in Taiwan when I was there. So it's just quite natural to have this kind of thought. But in the meantime, I also know that it was not that easy to say, oh, I want to work abroad, then it will just come true. So the first step I was doing was to start doing research, looking for if there was anyone had a similar mindset with me and has already worked abroad. And not surprisingly, there's not too many resources on the internet compared to, like computer science. We are more just like a small niche group in studying or working abroad, but I still found a few, and I would say each of them is really helpful and really encouraging. The first one is from PTT Civils, and I remember it has 4 parts. The first part was published in 2015, but it was not until 2017 I managed to find it, and I would highly recommend to have a look if anyone is interested in working abroad. The guy was working in Hong Kong and basically described his story quite in detail, including the work environment there, the salary. Also, he introduced several routes to pursue the professional license or chartership in our industry, including the ones from Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand, and even the United Kingdom. And I still remember when I first read it, it really blew my mind, because before that, my knowledge was just limited in the professional licenses in Taiwan, but I had no idea about this information in other countries. And if you want to work abroad, or to say be seen in the international engineering job market, the Taiwanese license only may not be enough. But I know right now you can apply for like maybe APEC engineer or someone, it's called IPEA, I think, which can basically recognize your experience to be not just limited in Taiwan. But at that time in 2017, I didn't feel too many people knew that. Yeah, so what I want to say is this article was basically giving me the direction that I could work for. So just at that point, I decided to sit the exam again for the Taiwanese professional civil engineer, because I failed once before during the year when I was serving the military service in the new Taipei City government. Moreover, to be much closer to get the international recognition, I noticed there was an organization called NCES, where you can sit the FE civil exam in Taiwan. And once you pass it, you will make a big progress in pursuing the PE license from the US. And I knew this information through a sharing workshop or forum. I think it's in January 2018 from a NCES exam Facebook group, which I believe some of the OTEA founding members were there as well. Yeah, so that was quite a nice experience for me, just to hear about a few people sharing their experience working abroad. And I think that was super informative for me at that time. And the second and third ones are just articles from a website called Crossing, where the guy was introducing the career as a quantity surveyor in Australia, as well as sharing some salary insight in the international construction team, which is also quite inspiring. And the last one is just my personal article for my story. If you are interested, you can have a look as well. Yeah, so I would say 2019 was quite a memorable year for me. Firstly, my effort in exam preparation paid off. And most importantly, I finally made my decision and start taking action to apply for my second master study in the UK. And the main reason why I ended up coming to the UK was because of the visa. Because in 2019, the UK is very, very close to the final progress of the Brexit, which means that during this transition period, the country will need much workforce from some like non-European countries to fill the job roles. So that's why they reopened the graduate visa, which basically say if you come to study a master degree here, once graduated, you are allowed to work here for 2 years without any sponsorship. So that was quite appealing to me at that time, because because compared to the US when Donald Trump was the president, the circumstances was not friendly to immigrants, wasn't it? Yeah, but right now the UK is not that friendly to immigrants as well. I will publish later. And also from my research about the job market in the UK, civil or structural engineers are always on the shortage list. Even now, it's still the same. I don't know why, but I guess it's because bank jobs are quite popular occupations here. So they normally will study like economics, finance, or maybe investment, etc. So in turn, which means that lots of opportunities in engineering will be available towards immigrants like us. And it's true because from what I observed, as long as you can manage to secure a job role here and accumulate experiences, then basically the recruitment agencies will come to find you. You don't need to worry about if you couldn't find a job here. And yeah, I think that is my truly personal experience, because there is always a lot of phone calls, emails, or maybe LinkedIn messages to ask me if I would be interested in jumping to another company. If not, do you have any candidates that I could introduce to? Yeah, so overall, the first step to step in these candidate pools will always be the toughest one. But once successfully get a ticket in the market, then normally everything will start getting better. And the rest of the information in this slide is just a list showing all the master programs that I applied when I was still in Taiwan, as well as some essential documents that I have to prepare for the degree application. But from the list of the program, none of them was my final decision. I ended up studying in the University College London for earthquake engineering with disaster management, which was super ideal for me because it's in London, central London. Otherwise, I was meant to be studying in a city called Sheffield, which is in the north of England. Yeah, but that would be another story to tell, and I won't publish too much today. And before moving to London, I was also working at a boutique engineering consultancy called SuperTake, mainly working on mid to high-rise building structures in Taiwan. Because at that time, I was quite eager to know how to design buildings. So that's the main reason why I left Tiwali. And I think I was staying there for around 9 months until moving abroad. Yeah, but again, I've got lots of useful design skills there, which I really appreciated. And in December of 2020, I officially landed in the United Kingdom during the pandemic. I don't have too much to share about because it was just quite boring. Everything was shut down and quarantine was everywhere. And also the fun fact was I have never ever been attended any in-person classes during my entire 1-year master program because obviously everything was doing online. So I was actually quite not familiar with my campus at UCL. However, I knew that my intention was to find a job, continue my engineering career here. So in addition to make sure I can successfully graduate, I also paid quite a lot of online English courses from some well-known websites such as italki or Cambly to practice to at least give me a certain confidence in like listening or communicating, because there was no chance to meet people there. Also, my roommates and my classmates, they are mostly Chinese. So you probably could imagine that although I've been moving abroad, I was still being exposed on a I was still not being exposed on a fully English environment because of the unexpected situation. And so just right before graduation, I think I was lucky again. I actually secured a job through the help of a recruitment agency. And it's a role as a temporary design works. So it's a role as a temporary works design engineer at an in-house design firm called Wenwell House, which is affiliated with a construction contractor called Keltbray. Essentially, the role function was to design temporary works such as major demolition, basement propping, or concrete core stability during the construction stage, etc. But I was only staying there for like 7 months because the location of the office was just too far away from where I lived at that time. I was living in East London, but the office was in a small rich town called Esher, which is at the southwestern corner. And the overall traveling time was around like 1.5 hours one way only, and it costed me around like 300-ish pounds per month, which is more than 10,000 Taiwanese dollars. Also, at that time, my wife, she just finished her degree in Barcelona and was gonna come to London to join me. And her job office was in East London as well. So just right after I passed my probation, I just told my manager that I wanted to quit. And for sure, I have already secured another job offer before I said that. So my new office was around the London Bridge, perfect location that I could walk to the office every day. And it's an Irish company called Wash. And I was offered a project engineer role at that time. And over the period, I have done a lot of mid to high-rise building projects in London, mainly reinforced concrete with residential purpose. And I think I stayed there around 2.3 years until I jumped to my current employers, Jacobs, still in London, still around the London Bridge, where this time I was offered a senior role. And yeah, so until now, it's been just over a year at Jacobs, and currently I'm working on some projects in like high-speed rail infrastructure, as well as a 70-meter long, 28-meter wide steel portal framing substation structure as well. And I think Jacobs is doing a lot of large-scale infrastructure throughout the world. One of our key ongoing projects in the London team is the King Salman International Airport in Saudi Arabia. Also, we are doing a lot of refurbishment work in several airports throughout London as well. Yeah, so I think that's basically my journey from the very beginning around 2017, 18, since I had a thought working abroad to now, 2025. Yeah, so it's been a bit lengthy, but I've tried my best to be succinct about my journey. And I think for the last 3 to 4 slides, I would like to provide some information about job hunting, salaries, also some suggestions as well. So I have listed some usual online job websites that people in the UK would normally use. But for me, my go-to website is usually just LinkedIn. And I think that is already enough, as long as you keep your profile up to date and switch your status to open for work. Sometimes if the recruiter notice that, they normally will send you a message. And in terms of the recruitment agencies, these are the ones that I think they are actively in the job market to search for people to fit the engineering roles. For example, my first job at Winwell House was introduced by Anders Elite, and then my second job at Walsh was through the Access Talent Group. And I also know a few individual recruiters who literally just post vacancies frequently on LinkedIn. So yeah, so obviously they need engineers to fill the roles. If you are interested, I can give you their names as well. And also I list some top or big name engineering consultancies here. They are mostly well-known worldwide, and they all have offices, either big or small, in London. Like Acon is American, and AKT2 is British. One of their well-known projects is the vessel in New York. I think you will know what I'm saying if I take the picture. And Arab is British. Archidice is Dutch. Atkins previously British, but I think it's acquired by Canadian right now. BGNE Australian, Bureau Harper British, Foster and Palmer. If you are a big fan in architecture, you probably will know Norman Foster, an award-winning British architect. Yes, they have an in-house structural team. I have interviewed with them before, but in the end got rejected. And Jacobs, American, Manhart, Australian now, I think is Singaporean, if I'm not wrong. Moat, British, Rainbow is from Denmark, RBD, Australian, Stantec, Canadian, and Sweco is from Sweden, Tetra Tech, American, and WSP. American or Canadian, I'm not quite sure. Also, what I want to say is most of these big name companies usually offer a graduate scheme. So if you are a graduate, or maybe let's say with experience less than 1 to 2 years, then this will be a good option to start your career. Or if you would like to know some other small to medium-sized companies in London, I have a list as well. So just let me know if you need it. Okay. Yeah. So most interesting part, salaries. So these salaries are tabulated from one of the recruitment agencies that I listed above. More like a ballpark figures in London only. Then you can multiply by 40. Then that will be $20. May not be 100% correct, but can be a reference to have a rough idea. If that's outside London, then that will be a bit lower. So usually graduate could earn around between 30 to 35 grand, then to intermediate level 40 to 50, senior 50 to 60, principal 60 to 70, associate above 70 until if you become a director, then maybe 6 figures. Yeah, but I won't talk about too much about the living cost here, because you probably know London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So you earn more, but in the meantime, you cost more. And everyone has their own living style. So what I can say is if you could earn more than like 50 to 60 in London, then normally life will start getting easier. Yeah, but that's just my personal opinion. And the current state in the UK. So like I mentioned before, over the past year, the environment towards immigrants has changed dramatically. The Labour Party has been endeavoring to cut down the numbers, especially against the illegal immigrants. But in the meantime, it also affects us. One of the key effects is they raise the salary benchmark up to 50,400 British pounds for both civil and structural engineer. So what does that mean? It means that if you want to land a job in the UK, the minimum salary that employers can sponsor your skilled worker visa is just that figure. If the salary is below that benchmark, then they are not allowed to sponsor you. So go back to the salary table that I just showed you, which means that only the senior role may have a chance to enter the market nowadays. Yeah, so that would be quite tricky if you are not ready to become a senior, or you already have some years of experience, but it's not UK related. Then the doors may not be fully open to you right now. But my suggestions would be if you could manage it to get some experience in maybe Hong Kong, Singapore, or even Australia, New Zealand. Normally, they would recognize this experience because I do see people moved from Hong Kong successfully secure a senior role here. So it's still not the end of the world. There are still some certain conditions that the requirement could be lowered down. For example, if you are under 26 or you have a PhD level qualification relevant to civil or structural engineering, then the lower going rate 39.2 grand can be acceptable. But I would still suggest you check the UK government website in detail by yourself, or maybe asking recruitment agencies directly to see if you are qualified or not. Moreover, the graduate visa I was doing a couple of years ago is still there. So you still can come to the UK to study a master. Then after graduating, you will be qualified to work here for 2 years without sponsorship. If that's PhD, then I think that will be 3 years. But you will have to think about, once these 2 years are gone, will your salary could meet the benchmark that I mentioned, or if you could be qualified for the lower going rate. I think that would be the thing that you have to think about. Otherwise, the situation will be a bit dangerous. So it's not always easy to. So it's not always easy for immigrants. Sometimes it's just about if you come in the right time. I came in the right time because of the Brexit, but in the meanwhile, maybe it's a wrong time because of the pandemic. And nowadays, there is an ongoing debate about if getting leave indefinite leave to remain should be increased from 5 years to 10 years. My wife and I are towards our 4th year under the skilled worker visa right now. If the policy changed, then there might be 5 more years for us to wait until we are qualified to apply. So that would be a big thing for us, and also will be relevant to you guys if you are thinking about immigrating to the UK. So okay, I think that's just too heavy. Let's just talk about some suggestions that I can give you finally. So if you could get as much as design experience in Eurocode, that would be really beneficial. Just highlighting this experience in your CV, because most of the structural design in the UK is under Eurocode, with a bigger combination of the British standards. And make good use of recruitment agencies. They can really, really help you. You can phone them, email them, or maybe message them on LinkedIn. If you don't know who you should reach out, just go to their website to fill in the application form and upload your CV to become their candidate. And they normally will contact you. But if you are fancy in some top or big name engineering consultancies, then generally you will need to apply by yourself through their own job career website, because the recruiters normally deal with small to medium-sized companies only. And and you probably would expect that there will be a wide range of English accents in London. There's so many immigrants here from all over the world, and not to mention in the UK, they have all kinds of accents from the north to south, east to west. And I think the most struggling accent for me might be Scottish, because their accents are just too strong, so hard to understand. And also in my team at Jacobs, in addition to British, we have people from Hong Kong, Malaysia, India, Bangladesh, Greece, Cyprus, Kosovo, which is a country from the Balkan Peninsula, and our director is from Mauritius. Actually, I didn't know where the country was until she pointed on the map, which is an island in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so it's always a challenge to get used to all kinds of accent in a short time, but also quite interesting as well, because once you are feeling comfortable, you could somehow tell where they are from just based on their accents. Like it's easy to tell if if they are from Indian or maybe from Italian. Yeah, and last but not least, British are obsessed with drinking. If you are living or working here, it's common to say, "Oh, go grab a drink in the pub after work," especially on Thursday, because Friday, will be almost like a start of the weekend. Or the social networking events generally will be playing some games with drinks as well. So my personal tip is always eating something before drinking. Otherwise, it's easy to start feeling dizzy after a couple of pints of beer. Because some British even told me that they would drink to feel full and not eat anything. Yeah, but personally, I will not do that. Yeah, so I think that's basically my sharing today. So if any question, you can just ask, or you could scan the QR code on the left-hand corner, links to my LinkedIn, and maybe reach out after the sharing. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I will hand back to Raymond. Cool.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Today, the introducing about England. I think this is a very perfect speak. So right now we can second turn the Q&A. I think some person have a side issue want to ask the Stephen. So please up your hand to ask some question for us. Okay, Rich. Hello, Rich Su.
Hello. Could you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm Rich. I'm glad to be part of this meeting and congrats on your new role. I'd like to ask about the UK job market. A friend of mine, who is also a newly graduate UCL students with 7 to 8 years of experience. He spent a year looking for mid-level roles in London, but gave up. I'm also hold a UK master's in computer science and haven't received a response from companies. So do you think current market conditions are making it harder for overseas candidates to find opportunities?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think certainly right now the situation will be not that better compared to like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when the UK just escaped from the Europe. Yeah, but I think from what I know, for the STEM project, so for the STEM discipline, like the science and mathematics or other engineering related discipline, I think the market is still fine from what I know. But maybe it's because my friends in London right now, they are most likely have been there for a couple of years, so they all have had the experience there. So that would be easy for them to jump to switch. Yeah, but I knew that for if you are newly to come to the UK or to London, the first step will always be quite difficult to secure a job, especially the UK government. They have been raised the benchmark salary for for all the employers, no matter which industry, can sponsor or hire a role. And yeah, so so from what I mentioned, if you are looking for the civil or structural engineer role, then if you the minimum salary will be 50.6 or 4 something British pounds. Yeah, but if your friends are just a graduate and if he is under 26 years old, maybe he can just try to see if he could find some graduate scheme from some big company, because I think normally they will have some roles available to graduates. Otherwise, from what I know, for small to medium-sized companies here in London, for civil or structural engineering, they normally don't sponsor now because of the salary raise from the government. Yeah, so I would say just try to see if there are any chance from some big name company, because they all have the office in London, either big or small. Yeah, or maybe you can still just try to to pop some message to the recruitment agency to see if they can help you to find some other companies they can really do the sponsorship with that salary benchmark. So definitely the situation is not that better right now, because I think it's not only in the UK, it's from the US, from the maybe Australia. I think they are just trying to cut down the immigrant numbers right now because of some I would say unique political situations nowadays. Yeah.
Okay. And another question is that I've noticed that many recruiters they prefer candidates who are already based in the UK for someone who like me. Someone like me who is applying for from overseas, what would you recommend as the best way to handle this situation?
You mean how to?
How to find a job overseas, rather than stay in the UK.
I would say the best way is still to know which agency is popular or active in their local job market. So like from what I list in my slides, I think those agencies in the UK or maybe in London are quite active and positively looking for people to fit the vacancies. Yeah, so I think if you want to start looking for jobs in London or in the UK from overseas, I think you can basically just prepare your CV and the cover letter and upload to all this kind of websites. And maybe after uploading your document, you can send them messages just to say, oh, I just upload my CV to your website. Can you have a look? And if you want to have a chat, I am quite open for any roles. Yeah, so I think that would be the most easiest way to start. At least you know who to contact, who to reach out, which can basically saves quite a lot of time before doing research. Yeah.
Okay. I have added you on LinkedIn, and I will reach out to get your advice very soon.
No problem. Just send me a message. Yeah.
Okay. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Cool.
Okay, I think Stephen gave you a good suggestion, but I also have some idea came for you. Hi, Rich. Hi, Rich. Doing
Yes.
I last company is Acon. So if you want to go to the list, the company, I think you can go to the introduce it's a big company in there. You can choose maybe ACOM, maybe Europe, maybe Jakarta, like this one. Doing this famous for every country. So if you want to search next on overseas, next job on overseas, you can to choose maybe some company, and everyone can know your background. Doing maybe he don't know about Taiwan University or any company, but they would know about a WSP or a like this one big company. So they also can understand your job on this company. I think it's a very good idea, but you also can see so many mail or something for them, how to connect to them. They will maybe he have a whole more time, but you can see the mail first.
Okay, I'll keep this in mind, and thank you for your support.
Okay, thank you. All right, so have anyone have any question? You can push your hand. Okay. I I don't know how to speak in this one, but I think you
Hello?
can say something. Oh,
Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. May I ask, could you share with us again why you choose to study in UK instead of maybe directly apply for a job abroad or by and enter international maybe sent by your international company to work abroad?
So you mean why I choose to come to the UK, and also why I just work I just work abroad directly, right?
Yeah, I mean, why did you choose to study abroad first, not instead of directly
Okay.
find a job?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think the main reason is because at that time in 2019, I think the UK government, I still remember the Prime Minister is Boris Johnson. He reopened the graduate route visa, which basically allow people to, if you come to the UK for study for a master, then after graduating, you can work in the UK for 2 years without any sponsorship from the employer. So I think that was quite attractive for me because which means that you will have so in the first 2 years you will not need to worry about your visa or your sponsorship, because the government will just give you 2 years for you to to look for a job or to start work there. Yeah, but after that 2 years, you will still need to think about if you could switch your graduate visa to the skilled worker visa, which the employer will need to start sponsor you based on the minimum salary requirement. Yeah, so I think that's one of the main reasons why I choose to study first, then work, because I know going to the UK or London directly to work will be relatively difficult compared to studying first. Yeah, because it's still about the identity. It's still about the visa. Because if you don't have the right to work or the work permit there, then everything will still be in vain. Yeah, so I think, and at that time, I think the US is not quite friendly for people to go, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, so I think then once I know the UK government, they reopen this route, I basically just changed my mind quite quickly, just to say, oh, then I want to go to the UK. And also my aunt, she has been living in UK for 30 years as well. So I have been to UK twice before I come this time. Yeah, so I still got a bit familiar, some like experience, but it's just for just for traveling a couple years ago. Yeah.
But as I know, in America, if you study in America, after you graduate, you also have some kind of visa that you can get to find work, maybe for 2 years or 1 year.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of circumstance is happen in every country, and so you at the time you didn't think about to find a job, try to find a job directly.
Yeah. Because I
or
feel,
do you know people around you successfully find a job abroad without any abroad education experience?
I remember Huang was in TY Lin, but he got a degree in from the US. Then he came back to TY Lin for work. But then after a couple of years, he jumped to Hong. I remember he jumped to Arab. I think it's Arab in Hong Kong. Yeah, but he got a foreign he got a foreign degree before, and I think maybe it's just the guy that I just show you from my slides. I think there is one. So the first article I provide here is from the PTT Seals, and I think that guy, I remember he introduced himself. I think he's graduate from some like 中字辈大学. Yeah. So apparently he didn't have the foreign degree, but in the end he still just find some ways to to work abroad to Hong Kong successfully. And I think if I'm not wrong, he was from Hualien as well, but I didn't know him because I think we were not overlapped during the period in Hualien. Yeah, but I think that would be maybe the current only example I knew that people work abroad without foreign degree so far. Yeah, but I do believe there are still some people who can, just to successfully work abroad with only Taiwanese degree. I think it's still, available.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Me.
Hello, Stephen.
Yeah.
Thanks for your presentation. Very lucky you are not in London. Otherwise, I think it's early, like 6 or 7 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Okay. I totally agree to your idea about the skill immigration. The first local experience job is very important, but it's very difficult. Could you give us more details about how you found your first job after you graduate in British? What the detail? I think that's very beneficial to all our audience to the first early start, beginning stage. The people can copy your experience to learn how to start their career in other countries. And prior to getting question, yes, I'm the people without the foreign degrees. I moved to Australia 10 years ago, and it's very struggle at the time for me to find my first job. But people have different history, so yeah, I suggest that we can hear and learn more stories from other people, and you can build the best way suitable to yourself.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. So I think my first job like I say, I was through the help from a recruitment agency. Yeah, I think I still remember his name is called Richard, and he got a Hong Kongese wife. Yeah, so because I think because my master program was started from September to the next year of September, and I remember I started looking for the job hunting around like April to May, where I have already prepared my CV and a cover letter and uploaded all this information to their agency's website. And after a couple of weeks, I think I just started get some calls from those recruiters, maybe 3 or 4, and got one. I think I got 2 from two of them, just to say, oh, we got an interview invitation. Would you like to come or not? And yeah, and definitely I would love to to join. But the interview were all online because of the pandemic. And I think I successfully secured these 2 jobs in the end. Then basically I just choose which one offer the higher salary for me. Yeah, so but I think the one thing I want to raise is these 2 jobs are all from a role function called temporary works design engineers, which is different from the permanent work design that I was doing when I was in Taiwan. And just personally, I feel the market in the temporary works are much short of people who is filled in the roles. So I would say if you are just very newly to come, or you are looking for the job from overseas, maybe you can just start looking for roles in temporary design works. Because I still remember when I first joined it, I met people from Hong Kong, I met people from Greece. They are and even from Poland. Their background were pretty similar with me. They had the experience in their own countries, but they were all new. They were all firstly newly landed in the UK, and their first job were all in the temporary works design. Yeah, so I think that maybe will be a direction to start if you feel it's quite struggle to really find a job in London in maybe say permanent works. Then maybe you can change your mind to another route, job function for temporary works. And in the meantime, I remember I was also apply some like I mentioned before, the big name companies. Basically, they provide graduate scheme, so I still applied it. But I knew that I have already got some like 3.5 experience in Taiwan, so I knew I may not be qualified. And in the end, I think I was right because I got all rejected from all the graduate scheme that I can that I have applied. So in the end, I was basically put my hope from those recruitment agency to see if they can really help me to find a job, and I will be very open to to come. Although I only stay there for like 7 months, then I just jumped to another company through another recruiter's help as well. Yeah, but I think it also will be related to the circumstances at that time because of the pandemic. Not many people come at that time, but for me, I still choose to come to take the risk. So maybe at that time the market was not that popular, was not that competitive. So I was just lucky to secure a role in just right before I graduated from my program. Yeah.
That's good. I think that's the right time for you to enter this market. But I believe now you got local experience now. The second job, third job, you will be easy to find the next one, and then you can have you can chase a better job in the future. Yeah. So I believe you will have a bright in the future. Thank you, Sam, for your sharing for today.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Min and Guo the question. So, have anyone want to ask a question? If don't have, I want to ask one question. Doing you suggest about the designer job, but for me, I never do the about design. Maybe I can review the design, but about the design, maybe some detail I don't know. So I always do about the site job or manage the site. So, for example, right now I'm in India. Then I do the owner. So I just control about some Tinder or some side job, just manager, supervisor. So that's a company. So for me, my expense is different for design. So if me want to go to the UK or want to go to the some country, you have some suggestion for me.
Yes. Yeah. So if you are not doing, I would say, too much technical side, instead will be more like a construction management side. I think there are quite a lot of contractor, especially for construction in London, because in London there are always new buildings, new infrastructure there, because so many people want to move in, want to emigrate in. So so basically the infrastructure and the buildings construction will not be stopped. Yeah, so I do know a lot construction contractors. They will most likely hiring some like maybe construction manager, or maybe from the client side, some developers I also know quite a lot as well. Yeah, so and I do see so many people from Hong Kong. They secured all kinds of these jobs, no matter it's from engineer, from management, from developer. I think basically they all provided the roles to to people from overseas. Yeah, and yeah, but I think the thing and so I think I do have some list. So if you would be interested, I think I can provide us as well. Just let me know. Yeah.
Okay, very thank you your suggestion.
Yeah, no problem. So any question?
No? Okay. Julie.
Hi. Thank you
Oh.
for your presentation. And I was wondering, do you take any exam like the professional civil engineering as a PE, like similar Taiwan and US, the PE license? Do you take the exam in you?
Yeah, I plan to take it, but I don't know about, because I think I should have taken it maybe last year, but my preparation progress has been pretty slow right now. Yeah, but because I just got an annual conversation with my manager before my holiday, and I just told him that I have minimum mind to sit the IStruct, which is the structural engineer chartership in the UK. And there will be a 7 hours exam. That's basically the questions will be about like how to design a building from scratch. Yeah, so I think I have told him I will do that in next July. So which is kind of like I have made the promise to him. So I think I will do that as well. Yeah. So yeah, and the process of the license in the UK can be mainly divided by two. One is for the civil engineer. I think it's called ICE, and the other one is the IStruct, which is the structural engineer that I'm going to take. And for these two, normally they will have 3 stages, I think. And for iStruct, the 3 stages will be an 7-hour exam, and the second one will be you will need to prepare your portfolio about like projects you have been working on, and also the final step will be an interview, which will be, I think it's a 1-hour interview with a committee panel, and they will basically so you will basically need to present your slides, your professional portfolio, and they will ask you some questions. Then you will need to answer the question, then see if you are qualified to become a chartership in their member. Yeah, and for ICE, I think it's similar. They still have 3 stages, but the only difference is there will be no 7 hours exam from ICE. I think instead it will be only more like a 15 to 20 minutes written task during the interview with the panel. Then if you pass, then you will pass. Yeah, and the reason why I choose to do the iStruct is because I feel my daily tasks are more related to the iStruct. Because for ICE, normally they will hope you can get some like commercial experience, or maybe more like a construction management, something like that. So, but I feel I feel since the start of my career, I was always being more like technical side so far. Yeah, so I think in the end I just choose to take the iStruct, and normally will be recognized as much difficult one compared to ICE because of the 7 hours exam. Yeah, but I think I would definitely try to sit it next July. Yeah, hope so.
So thank you for your detailed information.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, hey.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. I have a question about your degree. Like how many years you take, and how many credits you need to take for the degree, and it's roughly 1 year or 1.5 year. Yeah, about your degree.
You mean for all, right? It's just, so you okay, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
for
yeah,
your
so
master degree. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So in the UK, mostly the master degree will be only 1 year. If you choose a degree called I think it's called a toast graduate, which means that the most of the time during the program there will be courses only, but some degree will still expect you to have to write a dissertation in the end to be qualified to get the degree. And I think that's the degree I choose as well. So basically, it's I think they can be divided by three terms. Each term will be like 3 to 4 months, and the first 2 terms were basically just all the courses that you will need to take, and the final term will just be some like more like focusing on your own dissertation with your chosen topic, and they normally will provide you a mentor. That I remember I chose the topic which is more like an industrial topic from Europe, and I still remember my mentor was a Polish guy who is really senior. I think he's more like a director in the seismic department at Arab London. Yeah, so my topic of my dissertation was to do the comparison between the current and the upcoming version of the Eurocode 8, which is for the seismic design. So I just chose that, and to see if I can get some chance to to join Arab after graduate. But in the end it didn't. So so overall the program will be only just 1 year. Yeah. So because when I decided to study grow again. I was already like 28, 29. So for me, I just don't want to spend, take too much time to studying again. So I think 1 year program will be the best fit for me at my age at that time.
Yeah, then thanks for your answer. It sounds like it's pretty intense, right? So you don't have enough time to find an internship, like because it took like years, or basically you just finish your.
Yeah. Normally for the 1 year master program, there will be no time for you to do internship. I think the internship things will normally be from a 4-year or 3-year bachelor degree in the UK. They normally will provide some 1 year internship for you. Yeah, but for master, I think at least for the one year program, that will be quite intense. Yes, and so you basically don't have time to do the internship. Yeah, so I think just go directly find a permanent job. That will be, I would say, feasible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone come here to join the OTEA meeting. And also thank you about Stephen. I think today is very perfect the meeting. Doing we have to know about how to start. And right now we also have some option then and they give us so many person the suggest. So we very thank you today speaking the item. So thank you
Yeah.
everyone.